Is this the creature that you and your team found in South Africa?
From what I can see here, yes. The body recovered was incomplete, but based on the remains that were taken from us, it looks like the same species.
The most shocking videos of bizarre creatures lurking in the deep, dark ocean abyss have gone viral recently, leaving countless viewers sleepless. A group of sailors, lost in the pitch-black ocean, were allegedly hunted by grotesque, mermaid-like figures with razor-sharp teeth and blood-red, glowing eyes under the faint moonlight. Then, a fisherman accidentally discovered a distorted skeletal remains, a horrifying cross between a human and a fish child trapped under an icy rock in the murky current. Everyone who witnessed these scenes was consumed by utter horror, their hearts pounding against the sheer terror of these strange beings. This isn't just fiction. These are the dark legends of the deep, accidentally captured on camera in a moment of destiny. Stay with us until the very end, because the images you are about to see might be burned into your mind, changing the way you look at the ocean forever. The half-human, half-fish hauled up from the deep off the U.S. West Coast. The first clip comes from fishermen working off the west coast of the United States. The footage shows a small vessel on a gloomy, cold gray morning. Three fishermen struggle, breathless, restraining a violently thrashing, bizarre creature at their feet, a pitiful being dragged from the familiar deep, a place where it once swam free. It resembles a merfolk pale, gray skin, an elongated face, and dull, desperate eyes. It appears angry, yet its movements betray agonizing pain, writhing in a desperate plea for help against this terrifying, unfamiliar world. The close-up camera shakes with every whip of its tail, plunging the viewer into a suffocating struggle. A sudden, heavy pity descends for the poor creature so violently violated. The heart-stopping moment comes when it lunges violently, nearly knocking a fisherman overboard, desperately seeking a path back to the sea, its existence brutally interrupted. If this were just a large fish, why does its face bear such uncannily human features? And if this is truly a half-human, half-fish being, is this the first time it's ever been caught? Or just the first time someone dared to film it? Merfolk hand touches submarine glass. Clearly, neither we nor the fishermen can explain the mysterious creature in the last video. Many dismiss it as an AI-generated hoax. But what if I told you that reputable scientists have witnessed a similar being with their own eyes? The second video belongs to the marine geologist, Dr. Torsten Schmidt. He is rumored to have accidentally recorded footage of a merfolk back in 2013. On March 6, 2013, Dr. Torsten Schmidt and his colleagues were exploring the seabed of Greenland in a submersible. Everything changed when a ghostly white hand suddenly pressed against the viewport glass. The hand had a strange structure, 4 fingers connected by a thin, web-like membrane, similar to a flipper. This action wasn't curiosity, it was like a warning, a desperate effort to drive the intruders away from its dark, peaceful territory. By the time Dr. Schmidt managed to pan the camera, he only caught the image of a merfolk gliding away. Its face was not one of fairy tale beauty, but a terrifying visage, bearing a wild look as if deformed by the immense pressure and eternal solitude of the deep. That moment evokes profound compassion. Perhaps this creature is not a monster. It is merely a lonely resident of the abyss, desperately trying to protect a home that we have inadvertently invaded. The touch on the glass was a cry for help, a final plea from a forgotten species, despairing over human interference in its cold, mysterious world. The white merfolk emerge in a high-speed chase on the choppy sea. So, what happens when these creatures lose the patience to issue warnings? The next video gives us the answer. In this footage, the scene shifts to choppy, open waters. A small speedboat slices through the waves at full throttle, its engine roaring in a desperate attempt to escape. Behind it, a terrifying sight appears, a pack of sickly white, pale, merfolk-like creatures in relentless pursuit. They don't swim like fish. They seem to glide and skim across the surface, their large, soulless eyes reflecting the faint light. Their bodies are gaunt, their skin ghostly white, as if they have never seen sunlight, a sign of a species perpetually trapped in the deep darkness. The sheer terror quickly gives way to empathy. This pursuit does not feel like the aggression of a predator, but the desperation and pent-up fury of a besieged being. Their piercing screams are not chilling growls, but cries of agonizing pain as humans continually intrude and disrupt their isolated world. These creatures, perhaps pushed to the absolute limit of their endurance, are fighting not to destroy, but to protect their very existence. They are, tragically, the victims of human curiosity and insatiable greed. The mermaid thrashing desperately on a ship's deck. Next, let's turn our attention to the East China Sea, a vast region full of mysteries. A shocking video documents a terrifying moment on a Chinese fishing vessel. The gloomy sky and cold sea set the stage for an unimaginable event. They have captured a half-human, half-fish creature. 4 fishermen, faces etched with surprise and fear, restrain the strange being with a thick net. They use all their strength, gripping ropes and mesh to prevent its struggles. The creature, with its silver-tinged, nearly white and pale skin and scales, is trapped, its dark blue fishtail desperately thrashing against the wet wooden deck. Its eyes, wide with utter terror and bewilderment, hold no aggression, only profound pity and helplessness. This is not the deceitful and cruel fish demon Yao Jing of Chinese folklore, but a lost Jiaoren or Mei Ren Yu mermaid, according to ancient tales of beautiful and rare deep-sea beings. This struggle is a painful reminder we are not only violating its territory, but stealing the freedom of a mysterious creature, perhaps the last of its kind. Amidst the shouts and tension of the fishermen, the viewer feels a great sorrow for this solitary being, dragged from the endless ocean to face a world full of human light and danger. Mythical Chinese deep-sea horror creature appears. It's not only local fishermen. Foreign trawlers have also reportedly discovered creatures that seem to exist only in Chinese mythology. From beneath the dark blue water, a gigantic, ghostly white creature launches itself into the air, creating a column of white foam. The most horrifying detail is its head, a bizarre face with sharp teeth and a wide-open, enraged mouth. Its terrifying appearance immediately evokes the Lin Yu or Ren Yu of ancient Chinese legends, fish creatures with human faces, often considered an omen of bad luck. The ferocity in the video is undeniable, but upon closer inspection, a sense of profound pity emerges. This creature is not simply hunting. Its entire rigid body seems to express extreme rage, the desperation of having its habitat invaded by humans. It is not chasing to devour, but engaging in a frantic act of self-defense, a warning delivered through violence. It is a tragic image of an isolated species, driven to the brink of extinction. Above the engine noise and the roaring water, its cry sounds like the ocean's final lament, struggling against the endless curiosity and encroachment of humanity. The mermaid on the rock. In reality, there's a good reason these creatures are fighting back against humans. They have been running from human curiosity for too long. Just look at this genuine footage. This is a video accidentally filmed by Shlomo Cohen and a friend while traveling along the coast of Kiryat Yam, Israel, in 2013. Shlomo Cohen claims that while walking near the shore, he spotted a woman lying on a rock outcrop. From a distance, Shlomo Cohen and his friend noticed the woman's posture was highly unusual. This piqued his interest, prompting him to zoom in and film closely. As they zoomed the camera in, they were stunned to discover it wasn't a woman sunbathing, as they thought the creature had a tail. The moment it detected the noise, the creature slithered down the rocks and vanished into the sea in the blink of an eye. Immediately afterward, the Kiryat Yam City Council issued a challenge, declaring a $1 million reward for the first person to successfully photograph the strange creature. To this day, no one has been able to claim the $1 million. Perhaps the mermaid they encountered has fled far away to protect herself from human greed. The tragedy of a trapped merfolk skeleton. Clearly, human encroachment on natural habitats is leaving these extraordinary creatures without refuge, leading to incredibly painful outcomes. This footage, recorded by a fisherman, is the coldest, most tragic proof. In the shallow, murky water, nestled among decaying branches and leaves, he discovered something that should not exist: the skeletal remains of a half-human, half-fish creature. Historically, humans have been fascinated by hoaxes like P.T. Barnum's famous Fiji mermaid, a fabrication of a monkey's head sewn onto a fish body, which captivated millions. However, the skeleton submerged in the water here is completely different. It possesses a chilling, tragic, and utterly authentic appearance. The tiny skeleton is nearly intact, suggesting the form of a child. The head is a small, human-like skull, resting on its side in the water, in stark contrast to the lower body, a long, slender spine continuing into complex and delicate fin-like vertebrae. Around the gaunt ribcage, strands of black algae cling, as if guarding this final tragedy. This moment doesn't inspire horror, but an agonizing sadness. The small, fragile remains are a silent indictment of a creature's fate, driven to its death. This was not its place, perhaps due to a polluted, disturbed ocean environment, or a scarcity of food caused by humans. It was forced to seek refuge in the unsuitable shallow waters, choosing death because it had nowhere else to turn. The death of this young merfolk is a painful wake-up call. We are destroying not only our environment, but also the last remaining mysteries the ocean holds. The strange catch. If you still doubt that any creature could share features with that skeleton, then look at this fisherman from the Pacific Ocean. In this controversial video, an older, gray-bearded fisherman stands on a small boat in the misty sea. The faint yellow light of dawn or dusk illuminates his rugged face as he proudly displays a bizarre catch to the camera. In his hands is a creature with a half-human, half-fish form, but one completely unlike mythical descriptions. It has dark gray, rough, stone-like skin, with sharp spines or rigid bones protruding from its back, giving it a primal and frightening look. Its head is round, with large, bulging eyes and a thin, almost emotionless mouth, suggesting a deep-sea amphibian species. The fisherman holds it with both hands, cherishing it as a great discovery, while the creature's powerful fishtail hangs limp into a bucket of water below. Whether this is a fake or a real creature, the scene evokes a deep pity. This being, dragged from its dark, mysterious habitat, is tragically doomed to become a display object. Its cold, impassive appearance is not aggression, but utter helplessness against the human hand. It is a dying mystery, exchanging its life for a moment of human curiosity. The Alaska Bay Mystery. And now for a story no one could have predicted. In 2001, a group of fishermen were working in Alaska Bay, where the cold Bering Sea holds countless secrets. It was a gloomy day, with large waves hitting the side of the boat. The fishermen were struggling with a gigantic net, heavy with fish and seawater, trying to haul it onto the deck. Everyone was tense, the winch wires creaking under the gray sky. Just as the net was almost completely on deck, the unthinkable happened. Amidst the chaotic pile of herring and cod, a dark, gaunt hand suddenly reached out of the net. It was not a human hand, but possessed a bizarre appearance. With long, webbed fingers, the hand grasped a nearby steel cable, and the entire creature inside the net thrashed wildly, twisting in a desperate attempt to escape. In a flash, everything erupted into chaos. The creature, whose form remained unclear, exerted astonishing strength. It yanked hard, tearing a corner of the net, then quickly slipped out and vanished into the cold, deep water below. The entire event took only a few seconds, long enough for the stunned fisherman to back away, staring into the empty space where the creature had just disappeared. The mystery of Alaska Bay had reclaimed its prisoner, leaving behind only silence, sea foam, and utter horror on the deck. Lurking in the abyss. Not only on the surface, but also deep beneath the waves, we discover chilling, unbelievable moments. This footage was recorded by a brave diver during an expedition to the deep coral caves in the Red Sea. His powerful flashlight beam cut through the blue water, illuminating a jagged rock cavity. Hidden deep inside was a merfolk with long, wet, straggling hair. Its skin was pale, but what stopped the diver was its action. The creature was tightly clutching a smaller, childlike individual to its chest, trying to shield it from the sudden light. Its hands were webbed, with long fingers gripping the child. As the beam of light moved closer, the merfolk's face contorted. It didn't flee, but opened its mouth wide, letting out a silent underwater scream. This scene is one of pure desperation and rage, not of a monster, but of a mother protecting her child. Its haggard, fierce face is the expression of extreme terror at being discovered and having its territory violated by humans. The footage abruptly ends, leaving the question, what happened to the mother and child? And do we have the right to shatter their isolation simply for our curiosity? The monster trapped in the net. This next scene comes from a group of fishermen. The setting is a fishing boat being tossed about in rough seas, beneath a gray sky, with a fine drizzle of rain. The unexpected event occurred as the fishermen were hauling in their final net of the day. They never imagined that instead of fish, they would be pulling up a living nightmare. Caught tangled in the green netting was a creature, half human, half fish. The fishermen, dressed in yellow shirts and blue overalls, stood nearby, their faces showing extreme astonishment and terror. The creature had stark white skin, contrasting sharply with its slick, matted black hair and its scales that glittered like silver. The moment the net hit the deck of the boat, the creature began to thrash violently. It tugged fiercely, attempting to rip through the mesh, revealing a tail with rose-purple fins. Most importantly was the sound it opened its wide mouth and let out blood-curdling cries, a sound that was neither fish nor human, but a desperate, echoing shriek that cut through the noise of the wind and waves. That cry was not just of pain, but of outrage, the sheer anger of being dragged from the dark abyss. The fishermen looked at each other. En tierre, their eyes filled with panic. They knew they had caught something beyond the boundaries of nature, a mystery that could threaten their very lives. The question hanging in the air was, could this creature tear the net and bring its horror back to the deep sea? The terrifying encounter. Next, the tourists aboard this excursion boat will surely have a memory they can never forget. It was an oceanic cruise on a gloomy day, with gentle waves lapping against the hull. On the deck, a group of tourists was enjoying the fresh air until a shout of surprise from someone caused everyone to turn their heads. Not far from the railing, two bizarre creatures were gliding across the surface of the water. They had the appearance of merfolk, with ghostly, pale skin and matted black hair. Even more striking, their faces carried an otherworldly, spectral quality, large eyes and small, puckered mouths, creating a haunting contrast to the legendary beauty of a mermaid. These creatures swam close to the vessel, as if observing or curious about the strange visitors. The tourists on deck, including a man in a dark jacket leaning over to look down, were frozen still in shock and disbelief. They whispered and pointed, unable to trust what their eyes were seeing. The scene was both terrifying and mesmerizing. It shattered every natural law they had ever known, bringing them face to face with an unbelievable truth about what lurks beneath the deep ocean. Whether a frightening ordeal or a rare privilege, the encounter with these two strange beings will surely haunt their minds forever, redefining the concept of the world they once believed in. When humans are the most savage creatures, it seems not all fishermen are good people. Some are willing to harm these extraordinary creatures merely to satisfy their own morbid curiosity. The scene shifts to a heartbreaking sight on a ship's deck. The merfolk creature, with its pale skin and look of absolute despair, is entirely tangled in a fishing net. 4 men, wearing waterproof protective gear, surround it. The initial fear has been replaced by something far worse: cruel curiosity. While 2 men hold the creature down, a fisherman in an orange jacket, who might be filming the video, performs a shocking act. He holds a knife toward the creature. The purpose of the blade is not to free it, but to explore, to satisfy an insatiable curiosity. The merfolk lies there, attempting to crane its neck and let out a silent scream of agony, its eyes wide with horror. The image of it lying weak beneath the cold blade is the peak of pity and outrage. This is a brutal contrast beside the mysteries. The ocean holds tragedies. This strange creature, a resident of the abyss, is facing physical pain only to serve the selfish fascination of mankind. This video is no longer evidence of the merfolk's existence, but an indictment of our greed and inhumanity towards creatures that cannot defend themselves. The call in the dead of night. After the images of cruelty, this story takes us back to a different, more haunting perspective on these mysterious beings, the captivating power of sound. It's late at night at sea, a pitch black, silent darkness blankets the fishing boat. The young fisherman on watch is suddenly startled by strange cries echoing from offshore. The sound is neither the crashing of waves nor the calls of seabirds, but an abnormally eerie and melodic tune. Despite a bad premonition, he decides to investigate. The sea surface is choppy in the dim light, but no creature is visible. However, as he stands on the deck, the sound becomes clearer, as if someone is very close. trying to speak. The whispers sound like an invitation, repeating one phrase that sends chills down the spine: "Jump for me." This is not just a plea for help, but a deadly enchantment. In Greek mythology, the sirens were creatures who used their seductive singing to lure sailors, causing them to jump into the sea and perish. That chilling invitation, "Jump for me," is the modern version of that deadly love song. The fisherman stands there, chilled to the bone, fighting the inner urge to follow the mysterious call. He has faced the ocean's greatest mystery, not through its physical form, but through the invisible and mesmerizing power of sound. So, what about you after everything you've just seen? Do you believe that mermaids, or these strange half-human, half-fish creatures, are real? Are these images a product of technology, or a terrifying truth that science has yet to grasp? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We always look forward to hearing your theories and opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more unbelievable stories, chilling mysteries, and sensational discoveries from the vast depths of the ocean.